This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and it's Interleague Play 2013. From Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the NL Central leading Cardinals play host to the Seattle Mariners. It's a Mariners team that not many of us have seen before, but some familiar faces. 40-plus years of age, still going strong, Raul Ibanez. And what could have been in 2006, Endy Chavez had that great catch against the Cardinals, Game 7 of the playoffs. But, as we all know, it wasn't quite meant to be. And welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball. That's my partner, the Mad Hungarian Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. The Seattle Mariners face a very tough pitcher here tonight. Seems to be back on track, and that's the ace of the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright.
Well, that's Adam's attitude. You know, he had the two bad games in Cincinnati. Maybe he was tipping pitches. Maybe something was just a little bit off. But his last start, he was vintage Adam Wainwright, and that's what we'll expect here tonight.
All right, Adam Wainwright getting the call tonight for Mike Matheny's club. All weekend long, the Cardinals and the Mariners featured on Fox Sports Midwest. A look at the Mariners when we come back. From Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Cardinals take on the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners already eliminated from playoff contention, a record of 65-81. Al, who are the Seattle Mariners?
Good question. Eric Wedge, he knows what his ball club's all about. His third season in Seattle after being at the helm in Cleveland. 31 guys have made their debuts, but he does have two outstanding starters, King Felix and tonight's starter, Iwakuma. He's a 12-game winner, 12-6 with a good ERA. When you talk about the Mariners, you have to talk about their home run potential. They have third most home runs in baseball, and they hit a lot of them on the road. Young hitters that have power, also strikeouts will come. Tonight we'll see this 1,200 strikeout of Seattle this season. They have a lot of potential, but comes with that, they're free swingers.
Mike Matheny has gone over the scouting reports on this young team. Will they pay off? It's the Mike Matheny bobblehead tonight. Back with more and a closer look at number 22 next.
How about that celebration after drawing a base on balls?
100-plus wins back in 2004 for the St. Louis Cardinals, and catcher Mike Matheny a part of that team. It's his bobblehead giveaway tonight here at the ballpark. We know him not for walks, but for what he has done behind the plate, and now is the manager of the Cardinals. 4-time Gold Glover, 3 of those in St. Louis. And you think that that defensive prowess has rubbed off a little bit on Yadier Molina.
He's Yadi's mentor. Mike Matheny was so gracious in teaching Yadi when he first came up here how to be a big leaguer on and off the field. And I just really think that Mike Matheny can take a little credit for what Yadi has done in his career. They're both very close in their relationship.
Mike Matheny, his club 85-61 this year. The Cardinals in first place in the Central. It's interleague play 2013. lone appearance against the Seattle Mariners. 7 innings and a 9-3 win. In interleague play, 17 career starts. He's been dominant. ERA under 3, and he's 9-5. Matt Adams is in the lineup tonight, and the big man has been producing. Back-to-back games with home runs. Adams, Wainwright, the Cards, the Mariners. It all comes your way this weekend. The first pitch next on Fox Sports Midwest. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer or log on to stlchevy.com. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, just no equal. Just a gorgeous evening for baseball. Glad that you're with us. The Mike Matheny bobblehead giveaway. We're expecting over 40,000 here tomorrow night and another big crowd for Six Flags Day on Sunday. Tomorrow it's the Creve Coeur Camera Photo Day. And you'll be allowed to go on the field before the game. Get here early for game number 2. The Mariners are in town, and here comes Adam Wainwright to take them out. From one pitcher to another, we turn to the Mad Hungarians. Toyota, keys to the game.
Well, first of all, with this Friday night, Adam Wainwright has to break the Friday night jinx. He started 2 games last year on Friday the 13th. He lost both of them. So we want to straighten that out and get his second win in a row. And also we want everyone to join the MAC attack. The Matt attack. Remember the Matts, Holiday, Carpenter, and Adams were outstanding in the last series, but they got very little support from the rest of the offense. So let's get them all going in the right direction and have a sweep right here of an interleague game.
Our key starter is Adam Wainwright, coming off a very good start his last time out. 16-game winner, over 213 innings. Those have piled up again this year. And amazingly, Al, it's 31 walks to 30 starts. Anytime that you can have more starts potentially than walks in a season, that is a remarkable record, and he has a chance to do that in 2013. A look at the Cardinals defense and the Mariners lineup. It's Miller, Almonte, Seager, Morales, the former Angel, Saunders, Ackley, Zunino, Franklin, and then the pitcher, Iwakuma. The Cardinals defense is brought to you by Dobbs. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Holiday, Jay, and Beltran in the outfield. Freeze, Descalso on the left side. Carpenter, Adams on the right side. Good to see Yachty back in the lineup, back behind the plate.
One of the real keys to this ball game also is the fact that Adam Wainwright's a strikeout pitcher. He's now second on the all-time strikeout list by the Cardinals, and this Seattle club strikes out a ton.
First pitch, and Miller hits a high fly ball into left. It's carrying and going back near the track, on the track. It's Holiday. He can't believe it got that far out there. And he makes the catch on the track, opposite way off the bat of shortstop Brad Miller.
Well, they strike out a ton, but they also hit a bunch of home runs, third most in the major leagues, and they're tied for first in home runs on the road. That ball carried a lot more than we would have thought, especially on such a cool evening.
Looked to be just a routine fly ball, and Holiday having a little laugh about it there with John Jay. Abraham Almonte is a switch hitter. The center fielder is hitting .265 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs.
All right, great speed. Watch the bunt.
94 games at AAA. Hit .314 and had 20 steals. He was acquired from the Yankees in exchange for right-handed pitcher Sean Kelly. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fought off and hit to David Freese for out number 2.
Good pitch right there. Jammed him. Got the little innocent little semi-soft line drive right to David Freese, and good start for Adam Wainwright.
Brings in Kyle Seager, their third baseman. Does have good power. A lot of lefties in this lineup. 3 switch hitters as well, so Adam Wainwright has to dial it up against these left-handed batters.
You better be able to get left-handed batters out when you're facing Seattle.
No doubt. Kyle Seager's hitting .274 with 22 home runs, and he's driven in 66.
He had 20 home runs a year ago and 86 RBIs.
Consecutive start number 100 here tonight for Seager. That's the longest on their team. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good cutter there from Adam Wainwright.
That cutter is going to be the pitch that he will use a lot on these left-handed batters.
Here it is again. And explain that, Al, why the cutter is a valuable pitch for a right-hander against a lefty.
Well, we know his signature pitch is that curveball, 12-6. And he'll throw that in the 74, 76 mile an hour range. But when he throws a cutter, it's almost like it's what we call an old-fashioned slider. Just moves a couple inches, but it's coming in on the left-handed batters. Tie him in. Here's the signature pitch, curveball. Can't get hurt there with that one. It's not going to be a strike either. But when he can throw that cutter in on the hands to a left-handed batter, it just locks him up.
Lefties this year hitting just .237 against Adam Wainwright. Much of that because of the very good cutter. And here's a 2-2. Full count.
A little better curveball and good discipline by Seager. And that's one thing that we're probably talking a lot tonight, is these young Seattle Mariners probably have poor plate discipline. That's why they strike out so much. 1 strikeout tonight for Adam, and it'll be the 1,200 strikeout the Mariners have had this year.
It's amazing. A lot of home runs, a lot of strikeouts. They don't hit for average.
Only .240 average as a team.
3-2 is hit out to center field. As John Jay has it. 1-2-3 inning put together for Adam Wainwright. The Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. Mariners and the Cardinals, all 3 games on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals lineup leading the way. It's Matt Carpenter, then John Jay, pair of lefties at the top for Mike Matheny's club. Then Holiday, the switch hitter, Beltran. Good to see Yachty back hitting .318. Then Adams, back-to-back games with home runs. David Freese, Daniel Descalso, the pitcher, Adam Wainwright. Mariners defense, Ackley, Almonte, and Saunders in the outfield. Seager and Miller on the left side of the infield. Franklin, Kendrys, Morales is over at first. Zunino is behind the plate. Hisashi Iwakuma. At least they could have gotten guys with easier names.
Iwakuma having a very nice year. 12-6, ERA under 3. He's a control pitcher. You see there's a few walks that he's allowed.
For a team that has not been very good last year, already eliminated this year, he's put up good numbers.
He really has. Of course, he was second year in the big leagues, but he pitched over in Japan and was a star there.
One season he went 15-2. He had a 21-win campaign. See a lot of the Japanese pitchers that come over, Al, they have this hesitation in their delivery.
Yeah, kind of see it right there. Holds that leg straight up. And it kind of looks like it would be tough to generate a little momentum going towards the plate when you stop.
As Carpenter lines it to second. And the catch is made by Nick Franklin.
He has a very good splitter. The splitter is a great pitch for him. He's got the fastball, the slider, curveball, and the split. He'll throw the slider anytime. He's sneaky fast because of that little hesitation.
I was talking to those around the Seattle organization about this delivery. I've seen him pitch on tape a couple of times. Also watching those late West Coast games as you get a look at John Jay. Say the reason that he pauses is that in Japan the pitchers are taught that if you pause at that point in time, your balance should never take you back or forward, sideways, and it gives you complete control of your motion towards the plate.
Not sure I buy it, but that's their theory. Eric Wedge, he was with Cleveland before coming to the Mariners, third season with Mariners. And of course, Eric Wedge earlier this season had a stroke and missed about a month of the season. And they're just happy to have their leader back.
Young man, too.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike. As Jay puts it in play towards short, Brad Miller 2 away. Remember, Brendan Ryan traded to the Yankees, and the former Cardinal actually scored on a wild pitch the other night for New York to win a game.
Dave Hansen is the hitting coach, and I've known Dave Hansen up back to his playing days with the Dodgers. He used to have some classic pitch hitting appearances against Lee Smith, and he said he just loved Brendan Ryan, and sorry that he's gone. I'm sorry we missed him.
Was looking forward to seeing him, too.
I really was, too. You know, he's a little different, but as people say that they have not seen anybody play a better shortstop since in the American League since Vizquel.
Now, Al, I'm hearing you say he's a little different. And before the game tonight, as Holiday looks at a strike, MLB's I think it was the 50 most colorful characters in baseball were up there. And by the way, you made the list. So when you say he's a little different, he must be really different. I mean that with love, Al.
And I took it with love, but put it this way. He should have been left-handed.
That just crossed up, or the pitcher may have given him a fastball. He was looking for something else, or just straight missed it. That's Zunino behind the plate. That hit him on the wrist, the 1-1. I always thought Brendan Ryan had great talent, and for whatever reason, one bad year offensively led to a bunch, but his glove was sensational.
Absolutely. And as I said, he could play defense. Now with the Yankees, with Jeter out the rest of the season, they were looking for a little insurance. And Dave Hansen and I both agree that there's no reason why he is that poor offensively.
Home plate umpire is Jordan Baker, called up from the minor leagues. And Holiday stays away from that pitch. The lefties against this right-handed pitcher have had their fits. 217 average. The righties at 242. He has allowed, though, 25 home runs. And Holiday takes ball 4.
Part of that may be a reflection of the ballpark, their home ballpark, as at times can be play very small, and his numbers on the road are better than they are at home.
Here's Beltran. Carlos, the switch hitter, hitting .305. 23 home runs. He's driven in 76.
Good to see Beltran having a solid season and continuing it here in the second half.
So he hits a liner the other way that should be caught. Ackley is there, and he makes the play. The Cardinals strand a runner. After 1, no score. Beltran, after lining out, watch this, the Plaza Tire Service replay. I believe that is his thumb guard.
Yeah, and he had it inside his hat, which I think was inside his helmet.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
He didn't lose it.
Kendrys Morales. Keep an eye on Chicago and Pittsburgh. That game is tied at 3-3. Russell Martin a solo home run. Garrett Jones a solo home run. Pedro Alvarez an inside the park home run. Ground ball that's hit to second. Carpenter there. Good start here for Waino. 4 up and 4 down.
Adam was so concerned with those 2 outings he had against Cincinnati that in between, you know, he had a real long throwing session, but then when he had the good game against Pittsburgh and won his last outing, well, he didn't even throw in between starts. He just did an extended long toss, and a lot of people don't understand how that can simulate a pitching motion. You know, you're really just playing long toss, and if you do it the right way, you're in the same throwing position you are when you're pitching. You can duplicate your pitching motion. You just aren't lifting your arms over your head. But you're kind of getting to what you were talking about with, you know, Coma, that when you hesitate there, you're kind of reach a certain spot, even playing catch, that you kind of get your balance and you throw through. And he also talked about, he realized he was throwing to the catcher instead of throwing through the catcher. You want to finish off your pitches, get that extra life, so you throw it through the catcher, not to it.
2 balls and 1 strike on Michael Saunders. Al, next year will be my 17th doing the games. I can't recall any pitcher that warms up as lightly as Adam Wainwright, and then how he goes about his side sessions, which really, if you watch him, it's almost as if he's playing catch instead of really just letting loose. Would you agree?
Yes, totally.
A fly ball into left center. Jay on the move, and he makes a basket catch. Runs it down, and there's 2 away.
Adam Wainwright, when he'll throw in between innings, it is as casual as you'll ever find.
Exactly.
And this jump was a good jump, allows John Jay to casually get over there and make that basket catch.
Most guys, you really see him jumping on the ball and letting loose and just trying to get loose.
At least maybe he throws his last pitch like somebody would throw their first one.
Yeah. Here's Dustin Ackley.
Ackley's using all the field down, hitting more balls to left and left center.
And he plays all over the field. Center field, left field, second base, first base.
House of David.
Pretty much. 324 average since the All-Star break. They're getting an extended look at a lot of these young players. It's one of the youngest rosters in all of baseball. 1-2 pitch from Waino. Curveball. 2-2.
Indy Chavez, Gutierrez, Ibanez, Blanco, Quintero, all the veteran guys that we're a little more familiar with on the bench.
Interesting, because you think, well, on paper, Cardinals have the edge. However, it's young players that are playing hard, not that the veterans wouldn't be, and you don't really have that history with them, and as much of a scouting report on some.
Well, we also see the curveball being called here. It's the signature pitch for Adam. They're doing a good job of laying off. That's the 32nd walk in Adam Wainwright's 31st start.
So 2-out walk, and it's a look at our first bank, first take. Seattle Mariners in the month of September. It has been a tough go, in particular when you think about their offense. Hitting just .219, the runs per game barely over 3, the home runs down to 1 per game. It's a tough September for Seattle. Strike at the knees to Mike Zunino, who's hitting .219, pair of home runs, 10 RBIs.
38 games, but they're trying to find out about him. So he's got a little pop in his bat.
When I was looking at the veterans that you mentioned, one that stands out as to why he's still with Seattle, Raul Ibanez. I would figure that'd be a pretty good bat coming off your bench, and some pop too. He's still hitting for power.
You know, Dan, he's 41 years of age now, and he's got 2 home runs less than a guy named Ted Williams after 40.
That's amazing. And it's ruled foul. That ruling made by the first base umpire, Adrian Johnson. Crew chief tonight is Bill Welke. He's at second. And Brian Honora down at third.
Obviously, a lot of the Seattle Mariners have never seen Adam Wainwright, and the Cardinals have not seen their starter. Usually the advantage goes towards the pitcher. Hitters are trying to figure out what he's trying to do to them, what's going to happen.
And a liner that's caught. It's short by Descalso.
town for the final weekend. And on Friday night, you have the Shane Company cooler bag, the Yachty poster giveaway. And then on Sunday, you'll get a redeemable ticket for next season and also a schedule for 2014. So, weekend full of promotions, giveaways, and oh, by the way, the Cubs are in town. So during the break, Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright having a heated conversation. You wonder if it's just about location, pitch selection, whatever the case may be. You just don't know. But I'm sure, Al, it happens all the time.
Oh, sure. You just never had the cameras in the dugout as much as you do today. But people would be shocked all the little things that go on during the course of a year. Best friends, but they're, you know, there's a lot of family squabbles too. Notice in the first inning, Wainwright threw 9 pitches and shook off Yachty 3 times.
0-2 the count. Good to see Yachty back after dealing with a family matter. And the 0-2 pitch. By the way, right-hander Masahiro Tanaka set a Japanese professional record for consecutive victories in a season. 21 straight decisions, which he recorded a win. They're talking about him being the most sought-after Japanese pitcher since Yu Darvish. 21 consecutive. That's the all-time record.
It's funny, I guess Japanese pitchers were first introduced into American baseball.
Molina hits it down the right field line and foul.
You know, the Giants had one, you know, in the early 60s, but you know, they were not just weren't quite good enough. But now you look at the guys that are coming over, they not only, you know, integrate into Major League Baseball very well, a lot of them are becoming all-stars.
Would you agree the biggest question was durability and pitching every 5th day? Molina pitch it to short on a 1-2 pitch. 1 away.
You know, you say that, and yet I remember there was a couple times, you know, in the early 70s, a Japanese club would come over and train with a major league club in spring training, and we'd watch some of those games, and a starter would get knocked out of the game, and then as punishment, he'd have to go down to the bullpen, and he would continue to pitch his ball game in the bullpen until he pitched 9 innings. So you would think their stamina would be even, you know, much better than major leaguers.
I know with the Red Sox, as Adams looks at his strike, they were concerned with Daisuke getting into a situation of pitching every 5th day and not being used to a 5-man rotation. Would he wear out? Yu Darvish has 250 plus strikeouts this year to lead the American League. 0-2 on Adams. There have been many American-born players that have gone over to Japan and had great success.
Not many were household names here. And it used to be that they would all take left-handed power hitters and take them over there because they had very short fences and they were trying to hit home runs. Then they got into a situation they started taking American left-handers to counteract the American power hitters that were playing in Japan.
1-2 the count. Gets Adams to reach. Rolls over on a pitch and pulls it foul.
Prince Fielder's dad was probably one of the biggest. You know, he was really a AAA player when he went over to Japan, did well there, and then came back and was hitting 50 home runs. Cecil Fielder.
And what was interesting about the players that went over, what about a manager? Bobby Valentine went over there and had very good success.
Tuffy Rhodes, that's a household name, right?
Charlie Manuel was there for a while.
Charlie Manuel, yep. My buddy Lee Thomas went over there.
1-2 pitch.
Used to be a couple times there were Americans that were competing for Sarah O's home run record. He's the Babe Ruth of Japan, and if a guy was near it, you know, he either was hit or was just walked.
Gets Adam to reach again here, and taken by Kendrys Morales, and there's 2 outs. With 2 down, it brings in David Freese. The Cardinals, Al, are playing in game number 147 here tonight. The Cardinals win every series and drop just 1 game in those series. Talking about the potential to get to 96, maybe 97 wins, depending on what they do with the 4 games coming up in Colorado. But if they take 2 of 3 every series, with the exception of Colorado, win that series, you're at 96 wins. That should be enough to win your division.
Most clubs would take that in a second.
You bet.
Of course, the Cardinals just getting into postseason is not the goal at all. They want to make sure they win this division, avoid that 1-game playoff.
Big gap in left center. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How about Cincinnati and the Pirates? Wouldn't you love to see them not only play the 6 out of the last 9 games against each other, but also play the 1-game playoff?
Here's a 1-1. Those 2 teams have been very good at home.
And you know what? You could almost see, I guess there would be the incentive to make sure they, you know, you had the home field advantage. Both of them play very good baseball at home. So they wouldn't, neither one of them particularly want to be on the road in that 1-game playoff. But could you imagine if you knew that that's what the matchup was going to be, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, how you would play that last weekend of the regular season, setting up your pitching, getting your players ready for the 1-game playoff?
And you would think it'd be motivation for the Cardinals. They don't want to face A.J. Burnett. They don't want to face Liriano at PNC Park. Those 2 have dominated the Cardinals this year, especially at their home ballpark. Cincinnati has played the Cardinals tough at home.
Latos has pitched well.
2-2 is hit to short. Diving stop by Miller. Long throw, and what a play. Wow, what a play by Brad Miller. He shows off the arm and takes a hit away from David Freese. This, the defensive play of the night so far, robbing David Freese of a base hit. Franklin leads it off, 3rd inning. Hitting .219, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs. By the way, Al, Vladimir Valentin hit his 55th home run of the season 2 nights ago.
In Japan.
Right. And so he is tied with Setahara O. And remember, he used to manage after he got done playing, and that's why a lot of guys were stuck on 55.
Exactly.
He didn't pitch to anybody. So we'll see. He's got 22 games left to break the record.
You could imagine if you were a pitcher for O.
There's a high fly ball lifted into left center field. Plenty of room. John Jay, one away.
And you're facing a guy that is threatening your manager's record. I would think you could lose your status with that ball club if you gave up one.
Very quickly. Reminder that we have Toyota Cardinals live and the postseason numbers. The countdown continues. We're at number 16. And we'll come your way tomorrow at 5:30. The ball game at 6. That's tomorrow night.
Brad Straubinger, our pregame producer, does a nice job researching those moments, putting them all together.
Iwakuma is at the plate.
This is his first time he's ever taken an at-bat. He's started 2 other interleague games, but they were both at home where they used the DH.
2 nights ago, it was So Taguchi's famous home run that was on that countdown list. Speaking of Japanese-born players,
I miss So.
Nice man. Iwakuma strikes out, and the first strikeout for Adam Wainwright.
Well, you wouldn't think that. You know, that's the 1,200 strikeout by the Mariners, was there'd be their starting pitcher.
I miss him so much.
I heard that in my ear.
Sorry.
I refused to say it.
I need a shower.
I took So and his wife to dinner one night, and a lot of people.
That must have been a heck of a conversation.
A lot of people did not realize that his wife was really a bigger star in Japan than he was. He was a very good ball player, but she was a commentator for Olympics ice skating, and what a lovely lady. And she kind of just, you know, said, when I come over here, this is all about So. But she spoke fluent English, and she was just happy that her husband got a chance to live out his dream of playing in the major leagues, and she was more than happy to just kind of step aside and let him have all the glory. But she was quite famous, and more famous than So was in Japan.
Good curveball there, blocked by Yanni, and the strikeout of Miller. We may have a pitcher's duel here tonight. Waino looks locked in. There's no score. to you by Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer, and by 5-Hour Energy Shots. The Mad Hungarian is with us. Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. The Cards and the Mariners weekend series game number 1 here tonight. Cardinals have 8-9-1 in the lineup here in the third. Descalso, Wainwright, and Matt Carpenter. After watching Iwakuma take those swings, I think the Cardinals are at a decided advantage in interleague play here at home with Wainwright swinging the bat.
It should be that way, you know, because a lot of times an American League club loses its DH. Some of them can play other positions, and sometimes they lose that big bat.
Here's a ground ball to the right side. Descalso is the first out here in the bottom of the third. Let's turn to our AT&T Twitter poll tonight. Talking about the Seattle Mariners. Who is your favorite Mariner player? Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner, or Ichiro? Some great players they've had along the way. Could have put Randy Johnson on that list. Certainly.
But I know you guys always avoid all the pitchers.
Never think about pitching, Al, do we?
Nope.
Wainwright on the first pitch takes a ball low. Adam hitting 161. And here in the second half is swinging the bat a lot better. We know that he can handle the bat.
I didn't think it would be a reason, but really, when you look at it, missing the 2011 season, I think it affected his hitting more than anything else.
Very well could have.
Come back to full strength pitching wise.
Adam puts it in play, hits it to second, taken there by Nick Franklin, 2 away. First time through this lineup, 6 ground ball outs.
Cardinals have a history. The first time they see a pitcher, they really struggle against him. Carlos Beltran even talking about it, you know, that trying to figure out what their approach is. Now with all the video, you pretty much know what the pitches they throw, but it's completely different when you're standing in that batter's box than looking at a monitor.
Caught our home plate umpire and missed again, second time in this game by Zunino. That's Jordan Baker.
Was told he was a pretty good receiver too, but flat out misses this pitch. Reaches for it right off the end. Hit our umpire, looked like on the knee, but the shin guard.
1-0 pitch to Carpenter. And a fly ball tailing into left center field. This ball will get down. Carpenter on his way to second. Leading the team and the league in doubles, Matt Carpenter.
That's his 49th double. He's getting into some pretty significant territory. As you mentioned, he leads the league in doubles. And usually when Carpenter gets on, he'll score. He leads the major leagues in that department. But also another base hit here as he's the Busch Stadium 3. Has the most hits in the season at home here. It's also his 56th extra base hit from the leadoff spot, the most since Gary Templeton had 60 back in 1979.
Wow. So RBI opportunity for Jay. He's driven in 63 this year. Often overlooked in this lineup with the 4 hitters that are at 300 or better if you include Alan Craig. And yet he has driven in 63 from various spots in this lineup. Ground ball and foul.
You know, Dan,
So Carpenter at 49. Molina one shy of Ted Simmons' mark of 40 for catchers in Cardinals history. Ted is at the ballpark tonight working for the Seattle Mariners. Then you have Jay Bruce and Andrew McCutchen. 0-2 the count on John Jay.
Cardinals are hitting 100 points higher than the Mariners with runners in scoring position. 328 to 228.
And an 0-2 pitch. Lots of room to the right side, and that's taken low. 1-2. They're in the bottom of the 6th. Pittsburgh and Chicago tied up at 3. Milwaukee in the top of the 3rd, leading Cincinnati 2-1.
He talks about McCutchen being an MVP candidate, and he is. But John Jay's only 15 RBIs below him. And he's got the 2nd most RBIs by a National League center fielder.
That's out of play. Always get great suggestions and reminders, Al, on Twitter. And one of those former Seattle Mariners that we overlooked, great Mizzou multi-sport star. We see him at the ballpark all the time, and that's Phil Bradley. Football and baseball. He was all Big 8 at the time.
Thank Phil for that suggestion.
I don't know if he is on Twitter, but thank you, Phil. Here's a 1-2.
Phil has a big important job in the Players Association. So he's a guy all the current players like to talk to.
Didn't mention A-Rod on that list. Back then, you'd like to think he was a clean player, but you just don't know. At that time, a young, dynamic shortstop. A-Rod, Jeter, Garcia Parra, that trio always talked about. It's another 1-2 pitch to Jay. And it's hit out of play. Another great crowd here tonight. Weather is beautiful. Friday night, getting into late September. Not too far away from playoff baseball. Here's a 1-2 to John Jay. In the dirt, blocked very nicely. Jay fights it off, but that's a foul ball. Cardinals will head to Colorado next week, and Walt Weiss saying before the game tonight that Carlos Gonzalez may miss the remainder of the season. Dealing with a sore thumb. Said it's possible he may not swing a bat the remainder of the year. That would be a huge loss for that upcoming series. Dexter Fowler's been dealing with a knee injury.
I'm a fan of all those guys, but I think I'll recommend they sit out that series. Come back when they're healthy.
A 2-2. That ball stays fair, bobbled, and the pitcher is there. So the Cardinals strand a runner. We have played 3, and there's no score on a Friday night at Busch. 11 years, and you can see every game anywhere you go. MLB.tv. Adam Wainwright pitching into the fourth. 37 pitches on the night. Mariners beginning a 10-game road trip here in St. Louis. Stops in Detroit. Finish up with Los Angeles, the Angels. And they arrive in St. Louis having just been swept by Houston. Abraham Almonte, soft liner. He was jammed first time up. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Now you mention it that Matt Carpenter starting to get into that exclusive territory in Cardinals history. Last Cardinal to have 50 or more RBIs was Pujols, 2003 and 2004. And Carpenter now at 49. Albert had 51 in back-to-back years.
Right. Carpenter, that was his 105th hit here at Busch Stadium this season. That established a new stadium single season record. It was his 28th double at home this season. That's one away from the stadium record of 29 set by Scott Rowland in 2006.
Wainwright looking for strikeout number 3. Picked up 2 last inning. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Carpenter surrounds it, and he makes the play.
Good play right there, factoring in the speed of Almonte. And that's why he kind of surrounded it the way he did, so he could get into a better throwing position. On the edge of the grass, he goes to his right, he circles it right there, and looked like he might have taken a funny hop on him too. But almost overran it, as it looked like the ball hopped and kicked back towards first base, but he reaches for it and then has a little bit of momentum behind the throw.
Kyle Seager hitting .274. Fly to center. 0 for 1 tonight. Looks at a breaking ball taken just low. Well, it's not an easy thing to be playing baseball when you're out of the race. However, you play for the pride of the competition, playing that spoilers role, numbers for some of these individuals, and for a lot of these players with Seattle, young players trying to make a name for themselves.
No doubt there's plenty of incentive for the Seattle Mariners, whether it's playing for their current employer, but this time of year you get an awful lot of scouts sitting in the stands, and you're auditioning for all 30 ball clubs at this stage.
On the outside corner. This date in baseball history, Hall of Famer emerged on the scene. Bob Feller was 17 years of age, and he struck out 17 in a game. 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Set up away, paint the corner. Right there. Young umpire Jordan Baker. Saw him come through the tunnel.
Slap the other way. The first hit for the Mariners tonight on a 2-2 pitch. So Seager is 1 for 2. Brings in Kendrys Morales. Morales grounded out to second first time up.
Pretty good years with Angels, didn't he?
He did. Then he had a injury on a celebration.
Right, hurt his knee.
That's right.
On the home, he hit the home run, right?
Correct.
And the jumping at home plate in a celebration.
Technically called a lower left leg injury. It was a fracture, but there was also damage in the knee. And then he was acquired by Seattle in exchange for Jason Vargas, left-handed pitcher that we saw with the Marlins and the Cubs, you may remember. 0-1 is hit out to center field. Jay won't get it. Drops in, back-to-back singles. Reminder that photo day is tomorrow. You need to be here early at the ballpark. 6:15 with the first pitch. Cardinals.com/promotions. That's tomorrow. Creve Coeur camera photo day. Be here early. First come, first serve to get on the field. Runners at first and second. Michael Saunders lined out to left center field. First time up. First real opportunity for Seattle in this game. Runners in scoring position. Saunders hitting 161. Looks at a low strike.
They're hitting 228 as a team. Cardinals 328. And Saunders well below his team average.
Chris Davis tonight has become the third player in baseball history. 50 home runs, 40 doubles in a season. The other two to do that, Babe Ruth, Albert Bell. What a year for Mr. Davis in Baltimore.
What was his numbers like a year ago?
Look at the breaking ball here. Presented by Hyundai. There's that 12-6.
You can see how tight that rotation is on his curveball. You can understand why it's one of the best.
One-two pitch. Tails away. Wainwright would love the double play here. One down. Runners at first and second. The 2-2. He'll take a strikeout. It's another good breaking ball and strikeout number 3 for Adam.
As we take a look at this curveball, and you were mentioning you love a double play ball, just for a guy that has the breaking balls that he does, you would think you'd have more guys pound it in the dirt, and to get that double play there. But gets a strikeout for out number 2.
Here's Dustin Ackley. Walked his first time up. It seems like Wainwright and Molina have been more on the same page since that first inning. We saw them discussing, having that conversation after the second inning. More about the walk to Ackley. Fly ball out to left. Holiday is there. Mariners strand 2. And the big bats coming up for St. Louis, starting with Matt Holliday. Melty American cheese, crinkle cut pickles, and crisp red onion. Only at McDonald's. So Wainwright pitches out of a jam with 2 runners on as we move to the home half of the 4th. Curveball looks sharp tonight, doesn't it?
It does. As you said, good pitchers duel right here. Combined 3 hits in 3.5 innings.
You're the Seattle Mariners. You better be ready to travel. Long distances, long rides.
How about that plane ride from Seattle to Miami?
Yeah. Tampa Bay, you know you're going to go there one time a year. And as I mentioned before, tonight begins 10-game road trip for them. 3 here with the Cardinals, 4 with Detroit, finish up in Los Angeles to take on the Angels. They'll finish up at home, 3 with Kansas City, 3 with Oakland, so very good chance to play spoiler. They will travel on this trip over 5,100 miles. You think about it, for the Cardinals coming up, go out west to Colorado after the game on Sunday. We'll play 4 there and then head to Milwaukee next weekend. And the road portion of the schedule is through.
I was outside today in the backyard, and the pool specialist technician showed up to maintain my pool and said he just came back from Matt Holliday's house. Said Matt was that big massive guy, and he was holding his youngest son in his arms, just a newborn, and was just talking all about Matt Holliday and what a good family man he is, but just kind of how big and strong he is. Then he had this little probably 10-pound 11-pound baby in his arms, cradling it like it was the most precious thing in the world.
3-2 pitch. You and June still part of that synchronized swimming team, or is that, what are you in the backstroke now? What do you got going?
I'm just worried about the breaststroke.
Holliday into deep right center. And the catch is made. Shoestring grab by Almonte.
Looked like Almonte was going to close on that ball, but then when he reached down and made that catch down above his ankles, you thought maybe it might get by him. I don't know if he heard footsteps of his right fielder come by, but a little snow cone, and he holds on to it. Hyundai with those fine replays.
When are you on radio again?
Tomorrow.
Two and one.
As Beltran was talking, that when you see a pitcher for the first time, first couple times, you really kind of give it to the pitcher.
Beltran lined out to left his first time up.
He swing there as he's swinging that ball is almost past him.
3-2 pitch. And he walked him. Matt Ungering is in the house tonight. One out here in the fourth. No score. Molina grounded out to short his first time up. And Yachty hits a fly ball out to center. Almonte makes the catch.
And what's the first rule of interviewing? Don't ask a question you don't know the answer.
I tell you what, we've had a heck of a run. Rick Horton will be with you solo tomorrow. Dan, Allen, Jim with you. 68 degrees here tonight at Busch Stadium.
We're going to take Jim with us.
We'll blame him. We'll find something to blame him with, and he'll come with us. Yeah, how many games we got left, Al? 16, including tonight. Here's an 0-1 pitch to Adams, taken low. One pitch to Adams. Ooh. Right down the middle, swung through a fastball. Said it last night, with many fans, I think, would agree. How do you not become intrigued by the potential of what Matt Adams could do with 450, 500 at bats? Tremendous power.
Hit home runs in the last 2 games. Years ago, Matt had the tremendous season at Springfield. Was a Texas League Player of the Year.
Little ground ball that's hit to short. And more stories of Al's swimming pool during this timeout. And under, you have a game ticket, well, you get a free Six Flags ticket. Also, Prairie Farms Ice Cream Sundae, so free scoops before the game, and kids can run the bases after the game. Six Flags Day this Sunday. Tickets still available at Cardinals.com. If you look at how it could unfold at the end of this regular season, Matt Latos potentially could be his start for that wild card game, and Francisco Liriano for Pittsburgh if you go by every fifth day and where they're at in their rotation. So, boy, that'd be a heck of a matchup, and it gives you even more incentive to make sure you don't see either one of them in that play-in game.
And I think the Cardinals are kind of.
There's a high fly ball out to deep left, and this one is gone. Seattle, a long home run off the bat of Mike Zunino. They take a one-run lead.
It's only his third home run, but he hadn't been here that long, and they told me he's got some pop in his bat, and there was no doubt about that one. We talked about the home runs. That is a 169th home run, third most in all of baseball. The Seattle Mariners have hit this year, and their 92nd home run on the road. Hanging breaking ball. This one didn't have the 12-6, just flattened out and just right up there around the letters, a hanger, and it was hit. Those usually go a long way. They've hit the most, or now they're in first place in road home runs now with 92 of their 169.
Nick Franklin at the plate. Two-0 pitch. 3-0. Shaky start to this fifth inning for Adam Wainwright. Pittsburgh in the top of the seventh, leading Chicago 4-3. Milwaukee in the bottom of the fourth, leading their ball game over Cincinnati 3-1.
If the Cardinals have, in their mind, if Cardinals were in that wild card game, they would start Wainwright, but hopeful they would start him in the first game of a division series. Second walk tonight.
Chris Carpenter puts himself in the camera well to the left of Mike Matheny. Been doing that with Adam Wainwright tonight, and then in his previous start, they thought they detected some flaws in his delivery.
Yeah, but you're not finding the tipping pitches on that one. That was just a hanging pitch, hanging curveball, and they jumped all over it.
And a foul ball.
Now he's trying to get out there in fair territory, field that ball cleanly, and then throw out the runner at second, and probably would have turned into a double play. So see him bounce out there, try to get the ball, and with the intent of throwing to first, and obviously with the runner having to allow the defender to have a clean shot at fielding that ball, they would have got him out at first too.
And that's strike two. 32 years of age in his first major league at bat. The Cubs have taken a lead over Pittsburgh 5-4 in the top of the seventh.
I said it's a little strange right now, but Cardinal Nation's rooting for the Cubs. He's for this weekend. Adam ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just throw over the middle of the plate, but elevate it. Get him to try and pop it up. Wedge probably prefers his starting pitcher, who's never hit, to go up there and try and bunt all the time.
And a strikeout. Second time he has struck out Iwakuma, and that is strikeout number 4.
That's 199 on the season for Adam Wainwright.
One out, runner at first. It's Nick Franklin after his walk. Top of the lineup at Brad Miller. Lined out to left on the first pitch to start the ball game, and then struck out in the third. Wainwright with 4 strikeouts tonight.
Brad Miller a year ago was playing A ball and Double A. Hit a combined .334. I've already seen him make some nice defensive plays, and Brendan Ryan lost his job to Miller and eventually was traded end of last week to the Yankees.
Brendan Ryan is homered tonight for New York.
Going to build a platform.
Monument Park next to the Babe. Not sure Chris Carpenter would be invited to that ceremony. 0-2 the count.
I did read the introduction.
Here's Carp looking at Wainwright again and taking a different angle this time towards the middle of the dugout. Curveball, and it's hit sharply to Adams, who boots it but steps on the bag. Wanted to spin and throw and get a potential double play, and now Franklin is in scoring position. Head and Shoulders whip package tonight, and here is Adam Wainwright. Here's the fastball, and he's gotten Iwakuma a couple of times and a couple of good breaking balls along the way.
Miller got Saunders, and then Iwakuma again. So 199 on the season for Adam Wainwright in strikeouts.
Here's Almonte.
Adams second in the National League with his 199 strikeouts.
And that's pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner at second base. And a breaking ball that's taken low. Abraham Almonte, 2 balls, 1 strikes. Lined out to third. He was jammed and then grounded out to second. Little chopper up the middle, and Carpenter keeps it on the infield. What a play by Matt Carpenter. A throw to the plate. They got him hung up. Molina chasing him back. Matt Carpenter doing a little bit of everything tonight. Sensational heads-up play, Matt Carpenter. You just can't do it any better than what Matt Carpenter just did there. Saves a run, 1-0 Seattle. Month before that was working every day with this man, Matt Carpenter. What a heads-up play this is, as that saves a run.
Well, it absolutely does. This ball looks like it's going to center field. He dives for it, stops it, knocks it down. That should save the run right there. Now he picks it up and he sees that the runner fell down between home and third as he tried to stop and get back to third base, and they get him in a rundown and they pick him off. Home run is the difference in this ball game, and a great defensive play. The professor, Jose Oquendo, was pretty happy with the pupil.
Hanging breaking ball and a single out to left for David Freese. That is one of the best defensive plays we have seen all year.
No doubt about it, Dan. That was just an outstanding play. The timing was perfect, and this was pretty sharply hit too. There's your breaking ball. It's down and everything, but he had a good stroke at it, and look how high Miller got. The ball got over his outstretched glove, and a good defensive play oftentimes can turn that momentum around and bring it to the offensive team, and that's the Cardinals right now.
Descalso is grounded out to second. Adam Wainwright on deck. We're in the home half of the fifth. Short lead at first by Freese. Descalso, a little bouncer to the right side, spinning on the play. Franklin on to first, not in time. They do get the lead man. We saw David Freese robbed in the second by Brad Miller, the shortstop, and this time it's Nick Franklin getting the best of Descalso.
And Descalso hit that ball sharply, and very nice by the young second baseman. Looked like they might have a nice double play combination. Franklin goes, spins from his knees, throws a strike, and a quick release by Miller, but Descalso beat it out. So two nice back-to-back defensive plays.
Third baseman Seager is in. Holding at first is Morales. Anticipating potential bunt off the bat of Adam Wainwright. One out, runner at first.
Just to make sure to see if the bunt's on, they give the signal to throw to first. Read the body language of Adam Wainwright.
Runner goes, hit and run, throw down to second, and out. Descalso caught stealing.
I had a feeling that that could be a play put on the Butcher Boy. You see how he tries to swing down on it. You have to hit down. And I wonder where Descalso was. Must not have had a real good jump. And Zunino having a very good night. He hit the home run. And now he throws out Cardinal runner trying to steal.
So 2 outs, nobody on. A swing and a miss by Wainwright.
The reason I thought that play might be on is because these American League clubs are so used to the DH, really probably don't give a lot of credit to the hitting ability of certain pitchers.
And Wainwright has been swinging the bat much better as of late, as we talked about. So leadoff hit, then the clock stealing. Ground out by Adam Wainwright. Live. Then it's Cardinals Live, the Toyota pregame show at 5:30, 6 o'clock with the start of our game coverage. Cardinals Crew tomorrow at 5 on Fox Sports Midwest. Michael Walker. What's on tap, brought to you by Budweiser. Cardinals and Mariners tomorrow at 5:30. And we'll come your way at 6. Game coverage, 5:30 pregame show. Budweiser, what's on tap. I think it's fun to watch Michael Walker and to see what he'll bring to the table tomorrow.
Well, since it's come up the second time, he's had a much better breaking ball. And now we're starting to get these hitters swing and miss at his changeup again. Fastball's always been good for him, so he's really starting to put things together and almost has a 20 inning scoreless streak, just a little shade under.
Here's Kyle Seager, ball 1 underway here in the top of the 6th. Seager has a single back in the 4th inning on a 2-2 pitch, hit it to left and also flied out to center. Difference in this game, solo home run. Mike Zunino back in the 5th. There's a cutter and sharply hit into right.
Seager's 2 for 3 now. cutter. You see the spin there, and like it moved down a little bit, but low ball hitter turns on it, hits it by the diving Matt Adams.
Kendrys Morales single into center field and grounded out to second. Outfield is deep straight away. One ball, one strike.
Morales from Cuba.
How about the Cuban influence with the young players this year in the National League? Fernandez and Puig, two front runners for the Rookie of the Year. The fly ball into shallow left. Holiday under it, makes the catch. One away, and it brings in Michael Saunders.
In some way, those two Cubans you talked about, Puig and Fernandez, are learning lessons of how to play baseball the proper way, the etiquette of baseball.
It's been benched a couple of times now by Don Mattingly.
And Fernandez, even his own manager, called him out for showboating a little bit on the home run.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I thought Brian McCann handled it very well, where apparently those two have forged a friendship and basically said, look, right when he got to home plate, you don't do that here. And then it was Chris Johnson, who has a long history in baseball with his family, understanding what you're talking about, the etiquette of the game and how it's supposed to be played. Came racing in, the Braves third baseman. He was upset. The bench is cleared. And right away, he did apologize, to his credit, Fernandez.
Yeah, and as long as you learn from it, it's just part of growing up. Guys get to the big leagues early.
Runner goes, and a throw down to second. No chance. Hit and run was on. Saunders, the missed pitch, but a stolen base for Kyle Seager.
It's his 8th steal in 11 attempts, but they picked the right pitch. And it was a breaking ball in the dirt, and Yachty really didn't have much of a chance, didn't really think he had a handle on it as it one hops there. And you see what Descalso did there. Remember earlier in the week, ball got by him. Originally was charged in the error with Tony Cruz, and they later changed it to Descalso, and I thought correctly, but he said he should have gone out in front and knocked the ball down instead of trying to make it a swipe tag. Missed the ball. So that time you saw Descalso, knowing the throw was short, come up in front of the bag, don't even worry, concede the base, but make sure the ball doesn't get by him. You with your photo memory, remember that play?
Oh, absolutely. Cardinals came back and won the game. Broken bat, slowly hit, tough play for Descalso, throws to first, not in time. Saunders beats it out, infield hit.
Just wasn't hit hard enough, almost a swinging bunt, and Descalso did everything he could do, and just Saunders hustling all the way, and he beat it out. So right off the end of the bat, he takes off in a running sprint, puts his head down, doesn't look over until after he crossed the bag, just like you're supposed to do.
Descalso been bouncing around out there at shortstop tonight. If there's ever time for a double play, this would be it for Adam Wainwright. Dustin Ackley has walked and also lined out to left. Corners are in for St. Louis. First pitch is fouled back. Runners in scoring position. Al has talked about it a couple of times. 228 is their average. Cardinals first at 328. That's a huge difference between these two teams.
I can tell it affects the runs in a game, and they talk about young players that are still trying to learn at this level, still trying to figure out situational hitting. You don't always have to get a base hit to drive in a run. And now Wainwright still looking for the double play, but with 2 strikes, he can also look for the strikeout. Ackley, they say, is starting to spray the ball around more, hitting balls to left and left center. That makes him that much more dangerous.
Here's an 0-2 pitch on its way. Kept in front by Yachty.
For a club that strikes out as much as they do, they have not really chased many of Wainwright's breaking balls.
I'm sure that's by design too, Al. If you think about, they know the breaking ball is there. How good it is from Adam Wainwright.
It's again pretty good breaking ball and nobody chasing. Kind of hard to get that information by a team, that Adam Wainwright has an exceptional breaking ball. Probably knew with all these left-hand hitters, the cutter was probably going to be a big pitch for him tonight. He wants the cutter here.
Little chopper towards second, steps on the bag, gets the double play. The 6-3 double play. Southeast Missouri State Redhawks and the Southern Illinois Salukis play in the Busch Stadium College Classic presented by Southeast Health on Saturday, September 21st. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/football. Big double play.
Yeah, it really was. Cardinals only 2 hits tonight. One of them by Carpenter, and once he gets one, he'll probably get another.
Matt Carpenter, one of the top defensive plays of the year earlier tonight, and he is our BJC Healthcare difference maker.
He really does make this team go. When he gets on base and scores, the team has that great record, 59-22. And when he doesn't score a run, it's club, I think, You know, it was well under 500.
And Carpenter lifts it in the air out to right. Double earlier, and he's 1 for 3.
Seattle has 6 hits tonight. They were stuck on, what, about 4 straight games. They had 5 hits in every game.
The defense has bailed out Wainwright a couple of times tonight. The play by Carpenter moments ago. The double play started by Descalso. The pitching for Seattle has been outstanding.
Seattle's lost 4 straight. You wouldn't know it the way they were playing this game here. That's the problem. You know, everybody said you would love to play against a club that's sub 500, but if you can't get ahead of them early and get them to quit.
Fly ball out to left. Catch is made.
You know, they're professionals like everybody else, and the longer they can hang around with you, have a lead or stay close to you, the more the chance they're going to pull out a victory.
Now, this has been the trend with this offense in the series with Milwaukee, and again tonight. Innings 1 through 6 primarily offense non-existent.
Well, it really was the first 2 games of the series against Milwaukee. The Cardinals had no hits, and then it was the Mats that took over. Matt Holliday, Matt Carpenter, and Matt Adams were pretty much the entire offense in the first 2 games.
Pitch taken low and away by Holliday.
Holliday had the home run, 19th in that series, had some RBIs. He's been on a pace for the last couple weeks of driving in at least 1 run a game.
Two balls, no strikes with 2 outs, nobody on.
And it's that continual pattern of the Cardinal offense, which is the best in the National League, just when they don't see a pitcher.
Backing up on it, Miller makes the play. The Cardinals go in order, 1, 2, 3. We played 6, game 1 of this weekend series against Seattle. Inducted earlier into their Hall of Fame for the Seattle Mariners, Ken Griffey Jr., 57%.
Edgar Martinez, arguably maybe as good a DH as there was. Jay Bruner was a right fielder, power arm, power hitter, just kind of a face He and Griffey were 1 and 2. Ichiro. Well, we saw that first year. Remember, we played an exhibition game up there.
Up the middle, and Carpenter again diving for it from his knees. Oh! You talk about the play of the year. We had it earlier. He may have topped it with that one. Remarkable play from Matt Carpenter.
You kind of watch that ball. First of all, it gets by Wainwright without hitting him. Then you say it's surely up the middle for a base hit. And then you kind of wonder, okay, well, he dived and saved the other one, but how's he going to do this one? And then once he stops the ball, you go, well, there's no way he'll throw him out. And he does. A bang-bang play, but he gets it right. So the second phenomenal play by Carpenter up the middle, and you can see he even pleases himself.
And he shot it.
Well, like you said, once he caught it, you go, oh, well, put it in your pocket. Don't run the risk of throwing it away. You know, you're not standing on your feet. You're on your backside. But what a play. You know, we talked about, you know, Kendo worked with him, and he still does every day like he does with all the infielders. But Matt Carpenter, you got to give an awful lot of the credit. And a lot of the work was done before he even showed up in spring training. He just took the finishing school once he got with Okendo. But Matt did all the hard work preparing himself. I'm sure his dad, you know, hitting a ton of ground balls to get him comfortable at it, and he's become a very, very good second baseman.
Strikeout of Nick Franklin.
Hopefully that will also propel Wainwright, and that is his 200th strikeout of the season, and right on the black pitcher's pitch. But that great defensive play, I'm sure, has energized Wainwright a little bit. That's 201 strikeouts down tonight.
Iwakuma. The question was whether or not he could play second base. He's answered that. Now he's starting to show off that he's comfortable there, and in doing so, it's range as well.
Not only that, but you know, he's turned an all-star this year, but in my mind, he's playing himself into contention for the MVP.
Makes a nice play again there to his right. Nice round of applause as we head to a timeout for Matt Carpenter. September, final home weekend series. Great giveaways the entire weekend. The Shane Company cooler bag, the Yachty poster. Also, you'll receive on that Sunday a free ticket voucher for a game in 2014 and the schedule courtesy of Shelter Insurance. We're in the bottom of the 7th, and the Cardinals trail by the score of 1-0. Good ball game here tonight, Al.
Very good ball game. Very good pitching. A little too good from Seattle standpoint, but some great defensive plays. Their defense has sparkled in this game, and Matt Carpenter's done an awful lot to help out Wainwright, but he trails 1-0. Iwakuma is dealing.
Sure is. The Cardinals just 2 base hits tonight. Big inning here with the big bats. We've got Beltran, Molina, Adams due up for St. Louis.
Third time through the order, you kind of start thinking the Cardinals will have a little idea what he's doing. Iwakuma was named an all-star this year, along with his teammate Felix Hernandez. King Felix, love to see, as a fan, love to see him pitch, but as a Cardinal fan, I'm happy he misses that this turn. Iwakuma, since was last July 2nd when he was moved into the rotation. Since that time, he's gone 20-10 with an ERA of 2.83.
Beltran tonight is lined out to left and walked. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch number 82. That's it of the night. Here it comes. Ripped foul by Carlos.
Was that Aaron down there that didn't charge that line drive?
May have caught that with his foot too.
The ERA, but as he goes deeper in this game, 31st start, but no complete game. So he has gone over the 200 innings pitch mark tonight. And going over 200 innings pitched becomes the 4th Japanese pitcher to ever do that in the major leagues.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Carlos Beltran. Beltran hits it sharply off the first baseman Morales. Carlos on his way to second base and in with a leadoff double.
Hit a couple tough and hard ground balls tonight and line drives off the bat of Beltran, but this one gets by. Scored a double, his 28th double of the year. And here comes the Cardinals. A leadoff double right now. And you see he goes down and gets that ball, lifts it. Took a high hop, came up on Morales, and he couldn't hold on to it. See him kind of backing up there, got a little defensive mode. And the guys on the bench having a little fun. But this is where it's all about. The Cardinals had that advantage of driving in runners with runners in scoring position.
Yachty 0 for 2 in his return to the lineup. Kyle Loesch, by the way, is set down 17 straight. Milwaukee leading 3-1. That's in the 7th. Chicago in the 9th leading Pittsburgh 5-4. First pitch to Yachty. This crowd is now into it. 40,506 here tonight. So they have officially surpassed the 3 million mark for the 17th time in franchise history. 10th season in a row. 40,506.
Remember when Peter Ueberroth was the commissioner of baseball, and the first time the Cardinals, or the metropolitan area of 2.5 million passed the 3 million mark, he said it was the equivalent of New York City having 13 million or LA having 10 million in attendance.
Yachty yanks it foul, 0-2. Cardinals are trending towards 3-4. So very well could get above 3.3, which would be quite the accomplishment.
It's tough economic times. The Cardinals really want to thank the Cardinal fans baseball fans, Cardinal Nation, come out night after night after night, support this ball club, and they do make a difference.
Yachty reaching for it and back to the bag safely. Beltran.
Boy, that's a tough running play. Good defensive play by Miller, getting that line drive, but not leaving too soon and have it deflect off your glove, trying to get the double play. So you've got to catch the ball first, and you see he's in that position because he was trying to sneak in behind the runner. Maybe if he would not have broke towards the bag, maybe he would have missed that. That line drive might have gone past him. But pitch was being made. He kind of sneaked in behind Beltran, and that left him closer to the second base bag where he could catch the line drive.
Yachty cannot advance the runner. Here is Adams with one out, runner at second. From what we've seen, and it's been only 7 innings in person tonight, watching the shortstop Brad Miller, I like what I see.
Well, and I understand now why Brendan Ryan lost his job.
One-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the bullpen, Charlie Furbush, a left-handed pitcher. And Yorvis Medina.
They got some colorful names in their bullpen, don't they?
Sure do.
Why can't we have Bruce Ruffin's son?
Adams hits it sharply to short. Miller will get the sure out across the diamond. Advancing on the plate, Beltran to third.
David Freese, 1 for 2 in the night. Shortstop Brad Miller robbed him his first time up. On the second time, he hit one over Miller's outstretched glove for a line drive into left field.
Seeing that Masashi Iwakuma hasn't hung many pitches. The one time he did, David Freese took it out to left.
And you know, he's made some really good pitches in on batters, you know, where they've hit the ball hard, but they've had to pull them foul because of the location too far in.
Breaking ball and a strike at 81 miles an hour.
It's kind of hard going up there looking for a breaking ball there, so you do the right thing and conceding strike 1.
Big gap in left center field.
Both shortstop and second baseman on a foot on the outfield grass.
Segrist getting loose in the Cardinals pen. Cardinals would take a wild pitch, pass ball, anything at this point. Only 3 hits tonight. The tying run, though, standing at third. The go-ahead run at the plate. One pitch.
Said he's sneaky fast, as he'll get a lot of swing and misses.
Al, if the Reds lose tonight, it's not just chasing those teams in the Central. Washington would only be 4.5 games back of Cincinnati for that last playoff spot.
Well, there's some people believe that Washington will qualify, get that wild card spot.
1-2 pitch, and Freese strikes out. Cardinals get the leadoff double from Beltran, but he's left stranded. We played 7. 1-0 Seattle. Studio and a Bomberito Sports Update with Pat Perez. All right, thank you. This is the top of the lineup. And Brad Miller, shortstop, is flied out to left. He is struck out and also grounded out to first. 0 for 3. Miller, Almonte, and Seager. Pitch number 102 from Adam Wainwright. Going out the shortstop to Scalzo and called off by Holiday.
Good, quick, efficient out for Adam Wainwright.
Cardinals do have Segrist ready to come in at a moment's notice. He is warm and loose.
You see here that shortstop goes back, then he hears his left fielder call him off, and you get out of the area. Go back as an infielder until you're called off. If you don't hear anybody, you make the play.
Wainwright, right before that first pitch, said to Adams, watch out for the bunt. Sure enough, Almonte trying to drop that down.
And I used to do that as a pitcher. You know, if I thought a guy had a tendency to bunt, now Almonte does, but I would kind of look at my first baseman or third baseman and show bunt, saying, okay, we're ready for it, and maybe get him to not try it.
It was Almonte who was up with a runner at second base back in the fifth. He picked up an infield hit, and on the play it was kept on the infield by Matt Carpenter, and the runner was hung up between third and home.
Can I correct you a little bit?
Well, I'd be shocked if he did. Now you've been doing it for a long time.
Good. He wasn't on the infield. It was about 10 feet 15 feet back on the outfield grass. That made it even more impressive on the play by Carpenter. And then they got the runner, the lead runner, Franklin, in the rundown.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes, you can.
When I was saying infield hit, I thought, I don't know if I should describe this as an infield hit, but here you go.
That's not an infield hit.
He kept it to where they could get that runner hung up between third and home. Great play by Matt Carpenter.
And then this is a second ball that he dives up the middle, and from his knees he throws the runner out. And he even had to say, had to applaud himself for that one, and along with all 40,000 plus.
6 strikeouts now for Wainwright. There's a strike to Kyle Seager. You get the feeling that at any point in time, if there's a base hit or a walk, that Matheny would pull him. As the pitch count now is getting up there. There's number 108.
Well, Matheny wants to see him get through this inning and be in position for a Cardinal comeback and Adam pick up his 17th win.
Here's the 0-2 on pitch number 109.
Telling the broadcast from Seattle that Adam, if he doesn't go 7, he feels like he hasn't done his job.
There's a ground ball that's pulled foul.
He's a pitch away from getting through 8 here tonight, but got to get him off the hook before we can get him to win. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seager has 2 of the 6 hits that Adam has allowed tonight. Didn't want the fastball inside, didn't want the cutter, didn't want to go with a changeup.
It is final. The Cubs hold on and defeat the Pirates 5-4.
All the more reason for a Cardinal comeback.
So as we speak, Pittsburgh half game back of St. Louis. Cincinnati 2.5 out. Cincinnati that's still in the 7th. 3-1 Milwaukee.
Like the curveball. 3-2. Adam has walked 2 tonight. That gives him 33 walks on the year and 31 starts. One of his goals is he wants to walk fewer batters than starts. Back to the curveball.
Ground ball, and from the outfield, Al, the play is made. Shallow right field. Very good outing again from Adam Wainwright. And distinctive Budweiser Black Crown. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. A 1-0 lead in favor of Seattle. They'll go to their bullpen, and maybe that's a good thing. Chevy called to the pen. Charlie Furbush.
It's his 64th appearance and 2-5 record, but look at all the strikeouts. He's averaging 11.5 strikeouts and ranks 11th in American League relievers. 5 earned runs in his last 23 appearances for a 1.90 ERA. So he's not part of that. He's bringing down that 4.43 Seattle bullpen.
Second highest bullpen ERA in the American League.
And they just, came from being swept against Houston. So Robinson will pinch hit for Descalzo.
And Robinson looks at a strike. So the Cardinals have Robinson, Brock Peterson as a pinch hitter on deck for Adam Wainwright, and then we'll see Matt Carpenter. St. Louis just 3 hits tonight.
See if Shane Robinson can't get a pitch up in the zone and turn on it. Nasty.
Sure was. One and two the count. Shane Robinson. Huge gap in left center. Two and two. Brewers in the bottom of the 7th. They've added 2 more. They lead it 5-1.
That's Kyle Loesch pitching against the Reds.
At 1.17 straight, he's set down. As Robinson lines it foul. Two pitch and strike 3. Robinson strikes out to start the 8th.
Right there at the bottom of the strike zone. Strikeouts are no stranger to Furbush. He had 19 consecutive games last year with at least 1 strikeout. To waste a performance like Adam Wainwright.
Here is Brock Peterson, who has scuffled a little bit, hitting just 100. He's had a couple of starts. He's played in left field with a start at first base the other night. To the right side. Franklin can't make the play. Peterson on his way to second. Oh, my goodness. The break the Cardinals may have needed to get, and it comes in the form of a drop. What should have been out number 2, undoubtedly.
Yeah, 2-base error. And Cosma will go in. He'll have to stay in the game and run. But Franklin calls for this ball, and then you see him backpedaling like that, and you thought he might miss it. He does. And give Brock Peterson some credit. He pops it up. He's got to be disappointed, but he's running, and now he's watching it. Now he turns it on. The mistake you can make is you're trying to make that extra base and get thrown out after the initial error. But he's safe out there. And Pete Cosma, who will go in to play shortstop, now running for Brock Peterson. And here's the Cardinals. You got to say, it's all up to him, and he's doing his thing. Carpenter is the man. Furbush last year was very tough. Third best opponent's average against left-handed batters in the American League. They hit 147 off of Furbush, left-handers.
Oh, and 2.
Well, we know it doesn't matter with what the count is or how far behind in the count Carpenter usually is. Hangs in very tough against left-handed batters, or left-handed pitchers, excuse me. Hitting .317, 10 home runs, and 70 RBIs. The Cardinal leadoff man.
.399 with runners on this year for Matt Carpenter.
Big gap out in right center. Almonte, before that last pitch, moves about 10 feet towards left center. Now he just moved right back into right center. Set 0-2 to 3-2.
Cosma, the runner at second. That's the tying run. Here's the 3-2 to Carpenter. Carpenter rips it foul.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and that was in the Pirates were in town. The Cardinals really haven't had a lot of these late inning comebacks, and then they got 2 in that series. Need another right now. Pirates have already lost. A victory here tonight, go back into sole possession of first place.
.3-2 pitch. Cosma running, throw down to third. It almost went into left field. Stolen base for Pete Cosma.
And a walk for Carpenter, so a great at bat again for Matt Carpenter, and what a gutsy play. Pete Cosma stealing on the 3-2 pitch, It's ball 4, and he's safe at third.
What an at bat by Matt Carpenter.
It's just amazing how he'll work the count, not afraid to get down 0-2 like he was. And now John Jay, not as accomplished hitting like this. They could have pinch hit here and kept Robinson into center field.
A little surprised they didn't.
John Jay is 63 RBIs, but I wouldn't say he has a high percentage of hitting against left-handed pitching at all. But Mike Matheny putting a little confidence in here.
Runners at the corners. Infield is in. The 0-1 pitch to John Jay. Jay hits it to second. Out there on to first. And the ball gets away. We're tied. Cosma scores. It's 1-1. The defense imploding here in the home half of the 8th. That defense has allowed the Cardinals to tie it up.
Well, you can't assume a double play, but that was a double play ball. It was hit hard. That's part of the equation. They get the out at second base, and really that runner coming in, Carpenter should not have disrupted the throw. It's a low throw. Morales tries to backhand it. It comes up, hits him on the wrist, and the Cardinals tie the score. And they
that'll be it for the lefty.
Medina coming in.
He'll face Matt Holliday when we come back. Tied up 1-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Holliday due up when we come back. And we're tied up at 1-1. Cardinals, some help. Seattle defensively. The drop ball that should have been out number 2. And that should have been a double play. Wasn't handled at first. Medina into the ball game. This will be his 58th appearance. Our Chevy called to the pen, and it gets interesting here with Matt Holliday swinging a hot bat due up.
Medina's a rookie. Mentioned the 58th appearance. He's 4 wins and 9 decision. ERA under 3, and he has 1 save on the year.
2 outs, runner at first. Good rip by Holliday.
Medina's 25 years of age now, from Venezuela. Made his major league debut on April 16th versus Detroit.
Strike 2 on Matt.
Got Wainwright off the hook now. Let's get him the win. See, look at those 35 RBIs the second half. Second half indication of the type of hitter he is, as he's a career 300+ hitter in the major leagues. Got a hanger just a little bit too high to center it.
Morales is at first base. Primarily has been a DH this season, and you're talking about interleague play and the advantage of being at the National League ballpark.
And it shows, as a couple balls he's been tough chances, and you know he's trying his best, but put the combination to take your DH out of the lineup or have to put him in defensively, and the fact that your pitcher has to hit in National League ballparks is a huge disadvantage to American League clubs. I've always thought in interleague play you reverse it, play National League rules in the American League cities and use the DH in National League cities, and then you prove to everybody what a better game the National League is.
0-2 pitch. Holiday hits it to short. Force play at second. They just get John Jay. The Cardinals, though, tie it up. 1-1 ball game here at Busch Stadium.
Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Paris and Andy Bennis standing by. Matt Carpenter keeps it close with some outstanding defense. They'll take a look at his night. Iwakuma keeps the Cardinal bats quiet. They'll break down his evening. Plus, some lucky devil is going to take home a hungo. Well, it's Mojica time, Dan Al. I know you love you some Mojica time.
Who doesn't, Jim? Mojica coming into the ball game, tie game at home. Bring in your closer, Chevy Cole to the pen.
What a season he's had. Going to appear for the 60th time. He has 36 saves and 39 opportunities. 2.23 ERA. Opponents are batting just .214 against him. Been roughed up a little bit of late, and home runs have been a little bit of a concern. And he's got that impeccable control. He's only walked 3 in 60+ innings, but he's given up 7 home runs.
Here's Morales. Leads things off here in the top of the 9th. 1-1 game. Morales is 1 for 3 with a single to center.
0 for 2 off of Mojica. He could have been dealing with a upper back issue. sidelined him for a while, but says he's okay to go, and the Cardinals are going to need him the rest of the way.
Up the middle and a base hit. Looked like Mahika may have had a chance at it. Gets by him, and the leadoff man is on for Seattle. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Pinch runner Andy Chavez will run for Morales. Saw that line drive coming back at Mahika, and he kind of stabbed at it, but Dan, sometimes they come back at you, you see them, you can't react to it. Other times you don't see it, you catch it.
Michael Saunders at the plate. And check on Chavez.
I wonder if that was part of that was just because Chavez is a threat to run, but also to kind of read the body language of Saunders, a number 5 hitter. Very odd in the American League to be sacrificed.
Wainwright 8 innings tonight, strikes out 6.
He's over the 200 strikeout mark.
Bunt is down and it rolls foul. At home tie game, you go with your closer. Cardinals did have Segrist up and throwing last inning. Trevor Rosenthal as the birth of his brand new baby, I believe, so not available tonight.
Segrist is back up and throwing again.
Changeup taken low.
That time didn't look like any intention to bunt with 2 strikes. But you never know. He's looking down at third base coach right now.
Taken low again. 3-2. Such a long season. You wonder about the workload of Mahika. Has it been too much? Cause of concern at all down the stretch? Time will tell.
The way this game is, though, it's even though you have a great year, you'll be evaluating what you do from this point on.
Runner goes. Yadi, double play. Double play.
There's the Cardinals MVP candidate Yadier Molina showing you why. A great throwing arm, shuts down most running games. This time he gets a pitch that he can deliver, and it's no question Chavez is out. Strike him out, throw him out, and that'll bring the crowd right back to this ball game.
And a strike. Dustin Ackley at the plate. Cardinals will have Beltran, Molina, and Adams due up. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth.
I can tell you how much that energizes Mahika.
Everybody.
But you're right about everybody, but Mahika all of a sudden kind of pitching under tight pressure. Now you go back and still have to respect the hitter and his ability to give a quick lead, but he would have to do it with a home run. 2 outs, nobody on base. Feel like you're going to get the job done. One of the biggest things I see with Mahika right now is he's not throwing the strikes. It's almost like automatic the way he would throw his strikes.
The 2-2 off of Mahika and into shallow left. Ackley will stop there. Chris Conroy is the assistant trainer of the Cardinals.
The way
Here comes Mike Matheny and Conroy.
They'll go out and check. It'll be a medical visit. But the way he sprinted after or towards second base after this ball, it's down the lower legs. I got back of the calf for the right leg. The right leg here. Hard to tell there. Like it missed the right leg. And we're told maybe the wrist area. He'll throw a pitch or two and see if he's all right. But I think he says nope. He says he's fine. The way he took off for second base, which was heads up, because everyone was scrambling for the ball. At least there'd be somebody there to stop Ackley at first base.
Home run tonight by Zunino. And then he was robbed by Matt Carpenter. He's also lined out to short. Make a case he's had the best at bats by Seattle tonight.
And they're probably happy to see that. He came in.
Runner goes. Yachty again. Why? Why? Don't even test him. You'll get burned. They do it twice in this inning. The defense has stepped up big time tonight. Carpenter with a couple of great plays. Yachty 2 caught stealings. Why not win it in the bottom of the ninth? Chavez is in left. Ackley at first base. Yadier Molina with 2 caught stealings. Strike him out, throw him out. That was Chavez with great speed and no chance here. Look at that. I mean, that is just ridiculous.
I remember earlier he got an almost impossible pitch and they got a successful steal. It was a breaking ball right at the feet of a left-handed batter, and you know, it kind of from his knees tried to throw him out, and they were successful. But apparently Eric Wedge thinking with 2 outs, needing a man in scoring position for his catcher, who's really had not hit prior to tonight.
Beltran lines it, and look what I found.
Ackley, who had just moved from left field to first base, and it looked like that. And
play of the game brought to you by Budweiser. Adam Wainwright off the hook. 8 innings, 6 hits, the earned run, the 6 strikeouts, and the 2 walks.
Standing ovation for Yadier Molina right now. And wouldn't it be fitting that he acknowledges the fans with a game-winning home run?
Molina tonight is grounded out to short, fly to center, and lined out to short.
I'm sure this young Seattle Mariners ball club is thriving in this atmosphere. They're loving it. Closest thing they'll see to a playoff atmosphere this season. So the Cardinal fans do a tremendous job to energize the Cardinal players, but visiting players get a lift from the big crowd and their enthusiasm also. Just makes good baseball.
Molina off the pitcher. 2 outs. They'll check on their big right-hander here, Medina.
It looks like he's okay. He tell his catcher to get back there. Umpire wants to look at the balls. He'll throw it out. And Matt Adams. What has Matt Adams done lately?
Yeah, Matt Adams back-to-back games. Home runs. Kyle Loesch goes the distance, by the way, tonight against Cincinnati. That is wrapped up 5-1. So the Cardinals a chance at a little separation.
Hey, pay attention to that loss column, and the Reds are 4 back now in the loss column.
Oh, 2. Late inning home runs. 6th inning or later. He has 10 of them. 10 of his 13.
Cincinnati made history as the first player in Major League history to hit 2 home runs in extra innings beyond the 14th inning. It went in the 14th. Thought it was going to be a game winner. They tied it up, and then he had to hit it again in the 16th for the game winner.
And he waves at it. The ball scoots away, and we'll have extra innings. Cardinals go quietly here in the bottom of the ninth. We're tied up. It's 1-1. You're watching Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. all season long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Seattle and St. Louis, both teams under 500 in extra innings this season. Seattle 6-12, and the Cardinals are 4-5.
My favorite time now, Jack Link's. And by the way, on my way to the ballpark today, I stopped by the store and I picked up a couple packs of Jack Link's. I was so excited about this game. Mike Matheny's golf tournament, there was Jack Link's, one of the sponsors. They had a packet in there, and it's outstanding, just like Sechrist. So he's appearing for 37th time, and boy, has he made a impression on us. The ERA is 0.55, 45 strikeouts, 16 walks. That's the only thing you could criticize. Maybe a little bit too many walks, but a 41st round draft pick. It's our Chevy call to the bullpen.
Zunino left standing at the plate after the caught stealing. No balls, 2 strikes. And the Mariners may see this weekend why so many around baseball think the future is so bright for St. Louis. The young power arms the Cardinals have coming out of the pen.
Talking with the broadcast from Seattle, I was telling them about the Cardinals currently. We've got 20 rookies. 19 of them made their major league debut. There'll be 20 when Perez makes his debut, but to have 19 guys contribute, rookies contribute to a winning ball club is almost unheard of. And we have 32 wins from rookie pitchers this season.
That's fouled back.
The last time the Cardinals had more than 32 wins from a rookie class was back in 1952 when they had 34.
Center field and a base hit. So nice night for Zunino. As we talked about, Al came into play really struggling since his time on the DL was up.
He was batting 138, 4 for 29 in the 9 games, 8 starts since being activated from the DL. Had a fracture of the hymate bone on his left hand. Probably came back pretty quick from that. That usually requires surgery. He was out a little more than a month.
There's Franklin trying to bunt and pushed it foul.
Even 8th place hitters don't bunt that often in the American League.
In the air and caught. One away.
Gutierrez going to come and hit. Kind of elevate the ball a little bit, get him to pop it up. It's more of a line drive, but right at Matt Adams.
Franklin Gutierrez will be the pinch hitter. We have Carlos Triunfel, Henry Blanco, Alberto Quintero, Justin Smoke, a switch hitter, and Raul Ibanez is still on their bench.
Franklin, 2 stints on the DL this year.
Cardinals have turned 2 double plays tonight.
Both times hamstring problems.
I would think after what we saw in the 9th inning, Segrist, the last thing he has to worry about is the runner. He's not going anywhere.
Please.
It's Zunino at first base. Here's an 0-2 pitch. That's fouled back. We have had some great defensive plays on both sides tonight. 2 by Matt Carpenter. The 2 throws by Molina. The diving play on David Freese by their shortstop, who's been very good here tonight, Brad Miller. When the Cardinals had chances, they did not bring runners home, and yet they tie the game up in the 8th inning without a base hit. Turned on that pitch. 0-2, tried to sneak it by him, and it's runners at first and second.
Segrist, that's 3 hits in the last 4 batters he's faced over the last 2 games. Very unusual.
Run-saving defense. That was Carpenter. Runner was hung up between third and home. So that saves a run. And then this fine play, Descalso. Nifty footwork on a double play with a runner at third.
And the other play by Carpenter up the middle where he got an out, which looked like a sure base hit to center. Yachty throwing out a couple runners.
The 0 ERA. See there at home. Runners at first and second. Brad Miller with 1 down. Well, you look at Segrist and you think, well, he's got to be dominating lefties. Dominating lefties, he's also dominating right-handed hitters too.
Yes. And when he first burst on the scene, we just, were wowed by his arm and his power. But he actually had better success early against right-handers. Not that anybody was really batting left-handed. Just the first couple hits he gave up were to left-handed batters. But since that time, he's given everybody out. See how shallow the outfielders are. Miller has 6 home runs. Cardinals really don't have outfielders with terrific throwing arms. The best one would be Beltran. And his arm isn't anywhere near as good as it was early in his career, but it's still the strongest of the 3 outfielders.
1-1 pitch. He's not getting that call as Segrist. It's a long look back in. Back-to-back pitches, awfully close.
Just off the plate ever so slightly, but have some guts to take those pitches.
2-1 pitch. Little tapper to the left side. Freeze. Over to first. They'll get the out.
See why he was trying to pitch him away, as even on that ball he's falling away as he's swinging. Just got a piece of it. Lucky that he hit it far enough and hard enough that Freeze could get to it. Comes in here. Both runners advance, but they get the second out.
Switch hitting Almonte.
But you would definitely want to turn him around. He came in batting .316 left-handed, just 200, 3 for 15 right-handed.
Strike one.
One thing, when you look at somebody like Almonte, he's a switch hitter, but obviously his natural side is right-handed. But because of his speed, somebody along the line wanted to make him a left-handed hitter. And even though the right side is his natural side, usually a little bit more power that way. But probably very few at bats right-handed now. It's where you want to turn him around.
Not getting the corners. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's just outside too. Sometimes Yachty even sets up outside. I'm not quite sure why. There's a strike. I have to say though, and we've had very few complaints with Jordan Baker, young umpire tonight.
Yeah, he's been fine.
Haven't really seen either side complain much.
I agree. The fans are into it now. Fly ball, right center. Jay is there. He's got it. It's another scoreless inning put up by Segrist. Chance Ruffin is into the ball game, a right-hander. Chevy called to the pen. The big-time prospect at one point, pitched at the University of Texas, was a closer. Drafted by Detroit, is wound up here with Seattle. You may remember his father, Bruce, pitched 12 years in the major leagues with Phillies, Milwaukee, Colorado. Did a number of Chance Ruffin's games at the University of Texas. At the college level, he was nasty.
Sure he is. Chance was born, his dad was a little disappointed he wasn't left-handed.
Here is Andy Chavez. Remember this play. Scott Rowland, Game 7. That catch would go down in history if the Mets won as one of the greatest catches ever. And remember, Jim Edmonds was doubled up on that play. That took away a 2-run shot. Here's a postseason hero. And a strike at the knees to David Freese. That, by the way, pitching in that game was Oliver Perez, and he's working out of the bullpen now.
Yeah, it looks like he's warming up. You know, as Bob Gibson always told me, if butterflies didn't have wings, they call them butterwalkers.
Really? 1-2 pitch. Just a bit low.
Even resembles facially his father.
Sure does.
Somehow, some way, David Freese missed to get on here. Colton Wong on deck.
Strikeout of Freese. Colton Wong will be the pinch hitter.
Colton still looking for his first St. Louis hit, but he's hit the ball hard recently, but they've been some hard shots right at second base. Cardinals would love to have an extended period of time to really evaluate Colton Wong, but just can't afford to do it right now. She's trying to win this division.
Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes.
Up and throwing strikes. Colton, everything he's done defensively, just like his style, with everything he does, looks like he is major league ready. And talk to the coaches, they'll tell you it's not real fair to evaluate him offensively because he's playing off the bench for the first time, not getting that extended playing time to really make a judgment.
Ruffin was acquired by Seattle in the Doug Fister deal. It was in August of 2011. Strikeout of Wong. 2 away.
Breaking ball and going it over the top. Cosmo will get his first plate appearance.
Cosma came in as a pinch runner, then stayed in the game, did steal third base. That's taken outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
So third base then came around, scored the tying run.
Cosma, base hit out to left, and the winning run is on.
Now Pete's figured out how to hit in September. Just needs to figure out how to hit the other months. But he did about 350 in the month of September in the last 2 years. Runs on that pitch, and with Carpenter coming up, it looks like we will see the aforementioned Oliver Perez.
Begin for Ruffin, and a lefty coming in to face Carpenter when we come back. starter this year, 56th appearance. You can see by the delivery things have changed up for Perez, and things for the better, they believe, in Seattle.
Matt Carpenter, the first hitter that Perez will face, went back and talked to the Cardinal hitting coach John Mabry. He was reading from a scouting report, and I said John could have just recalled his own personal experiences. I'm sure he probably faced Perez as Perez started in the Padres organization back in 1999. First got to the big leagues with San Diego in 2002. Pitched with San Diego, Pittsburgh, the Mets, and now Seattle at the big league level. Has a couple saves this year and 2-3 record. Opponents are batting .253 off him.
See if Cosmo would want to test this combination here. Not a very big lead, and that pitch is taken low. 2 balls, no strikes. Jay is on deck.
See Perez, left-hander, so he's looking right at the base runner. He lifts that leg straight up, so he's in a position where he can throw to first base, and I'm sure Cosmo a little unsure of himself. Brock always felt like a left-hander is easier to steal off of, but he had to see his move first.
Way outside, 3-0.
If you pay too much attention to that base runner, it affects your location at the plate.
2-out base hit by Cosmo to left. 3 balls, no strikes here on Carpenter. 2-5 record for Perez. Majority of the time that we saw him was with Pittsburgh.
Times he was on a fast track.
It's a loss of control at one point. They wondered whether or not he would ever get it back, and to his credit, here he is in the big leagues. Spent some time in the minor leagues.
Dropped down a little bit, gave a different look to Matt Carpenter.
A 3-1 pitch. And he walked him. Winning run will be in scoring position.
Walks in extra innings are just asking to be beat. Dan, what you're talking about might explain why last time he pitched at the big league level was 2010, prior to last season. So he was 0-5 with a 6.8 ERA in 17 games for the Mets, 7 starts. Went to Port St. Lucie, went to Buffalo, 2011 in Harrisburg, last year AAA, and then finally at the big leagues for 33 games with Seattle.
Breaking ball misses down and in. And nobody getting loose in the bullpen for Seattle. John Jay against lefties, hitting just 194 this year. He'd love to change that. 291 with runners in scoring position. 2-0.
A lot of times managers don't want to take the bat out of the hands of a hitter, but if you're ever going to take a pitch, probably now.
Wow. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Borderline pitch there, they called strike 1.
This count, John Jay is hitting .375. 2 balls, 1 strike.
2-0. That's lucky Perez got that call.
Two and 2. You mentioned how on Matt Carpenter, Perez dropped down. That's what the difference was for him in getting back to the big leagues. He changed his motion and went more of a sidearm.
And tried to be more of a lefty specialist.
2-2. On its way to Jay.
Oh, that was almost asking for it. You almost did that. Take your leg back and throw to second base. But when he went home, you knew he'd have no command of that pitch at all. 3-2 count, 2 outs. So right now he's pitching to a running count, and that could be the difference in the game.
The outfield very shallow for the play at the plate. They're on their feet here at Busch Stadium.
Almost a balk. As that time he did spin all the way around and look to second base.
Three-two to Jay. Matt Holliday will come up and a chance to win it. And again, nobody throwing in the Seattle bullpen.
Well, Dan, they only have five right-handers down there, plus two lefties. Only. So Carl Willis, he's the pitching coach. He's been around a long time. He first made his, if I'm not mistaken, would been the Detroit organization where he first got to the big leagues. Now these two have to have some history.
It's 2 for 16 the days with San Diego and Colorado. But again, you're talking about a different pitcher from where he was as a starter to what he's trying to do now.
Yeah, and I think you're also going to find that if he drops down, which made him effective against left-handers when he threw strikes, a right-handed batter gets a good look at that release point. So he probably won't do the...
Ball scoots away. Here comes Cosmo. Sliding. Stone. He's sailed. And the Cardinals win a wild one here tonight. 2-1.
On a night when we started to show a walk-off walk by Mike Matheny on his bobblehead night, the game ends with a wild pitch and Cosma scoring from third base. And if you are a true believer, it's games like this when you pull a victory out of defeat, and that's a pass ball. That was not a wild pitch. The young catcher couldn't hold on to it. And look at Cosmo with that good speed. He slides in ahead of the throw. Perez missed it anyway, and the Cardinals walk off with a victory on a pass ball.
Now that's the third ball that he struggled just to receive cleanly tonight. And this one cost them as Cosmo scores, sliding in at first, the winning run.
He had a left high-mate hand. That's his catching hand, and maybe that's still bothering him catching.
The Cardinals win it with just 4 hits in 10 innings. Wow, what a night. 2-1. Post game next.